We're here with Randy Kessler. He's one of the consistent feature winners here at Freedom Raceway in his number 3 Chevrolet here. Randy, what keeps you top 5 week after week?
Oh, I don't know, good car, I guess, good maintenance. We worked harder on the car this year as far as getting it to handle as we ever have a race car, because you need to up here. The competition's tough. Oh, just a good crew and a good car, I guess.
We understand racing's a family tradition in the Kessler family.
Yes, it is. I took after my dad. He raced for years, and I don't know, I picked it up back in 83, 84, I guess, and I've been at it ever since. Every once in a while I take a year off and regroup, and then I come back.
Well, you're featured in this week's program. Tell us about your first race car.
Oh, that was a road car my wife had on the road at the time, and we come up on Sunday afternoon and got in the beer, and, well, before the following Sunday, we had it ready for the racetrack, and she rode the Bluebird bus to work for a week. She didn't have no car, but we had a race car.
Well, from the Weiss car to a late model super stock, you've done a super job, top 5 in the points. Things are going well for you up here at Freedom.
Yeah, we're having a good year this year, a real consistent year. We're happy, you know. We're real happy.
I'm glad you can make it up here, and good luck tonight.
Okay, thank you.
Nice interview, thanks.
18, that's the Greg Wolf car. Next to him, it would be the 75 of Paul Burrows, the 22 of Pete Tingu, the 28 of Ed Carley, the 2 of Kenny Barber, and the 101 of Dave Klink. Those are the 6 cars as they get ready to do battle for 8 grueling laps here. This first qualifying event. We see a little trail of smoke out of the Kenny Barber number 2 car. He's been trailing that smoke for the last 4 or 5 weeks here, and that motor just continues to run and run. The old adage, don't fix it if it ain't broke, goes on the number 2 of Kenny Barber. Head starter, Ray Olivetti's looked over the field. He's given the field the indication it'll be green. This time by, we're about to go racing. Slippy collision night here in Freedom. On a turn number 4. Onto the main straightaway. Slides over the field, and these late model super stocks are off. Burrows up on the outside in that 75 car. He gets an early lead, but keep an eye on the 28 of Carley. Carley works his way quickly up into that second position as he comes by the 18 of Wolf. On a turn number 4, he's coming back to get this is the first race of tonight. Carley now starting to put a move on the 75 of Burrows as they come off the second turn. And we see Pete Tingu way down on the inside in that 22 car. He's side by side with Klink in that 101. That's for the 4th position. Klink a little out of shape up there. Tingu gets by, and now Carley takes over the lead. 28 of Carley slips down on the inside, down on the main straightaway. He pulls away from the 75 of Burrows. And now he's really starting to put some ground between him and the second place car of Paul Burrows. And Carley with some new paint on that car tonight. They didn't have time to get the number painted on it. Runs around with open doors on that, but we can see the 28 on the roof of that car and know that it is Ed Carley as he pulls away. But here comes Pete Tingu. Pete Tingu, a man with a mission, as he now moves up to challenge for the second position as your leader takes a halfway signal. Tingu up on the outside. Wolf's way down on the inside, down on the berm of the track, but Pete gets by him. Now Pete Tingu in that familiar 22 will try to run down the 28 of Carley. Carley with a half a straightaway advantage. Thunders out of turn number 4 onto the main straightaway. A lot of distance between him and your second place car. Rest of the field pretty well bunched up in the half of the pack here. As we see the 22 of Pete Tingu, the 18 of Wolf, the 75 of Burrows, the 2 of Barber, and the 101 of Klink. Klink having his handling problems out there as he's going from the front to the rear of the field. And Carley really making this look easy as he takes the 2 flag up indication. Carley now with a straightaway advantage over the rest of the field. Comes on to turn number 4 onto the main straightaway. No way, tries to apply. It's going to be one more time for the round for Ed Carley. Carley, barring any mistakes, and this number 28 car is going to easily walk over the front of this field of late model super stock. Flying high as he comes out of turn number 3. Down low on a 4. The checkered flag applied this time. And the winner of the first qualifying event for the late model super stock will be Ed Carley. Pete Tingu is going to bring it home in second. That's going to be the Ford car machine of Wolf, Burrows, Barber, and the 101 of Klink. Stock division of the cars now on the track. On the point in the 0 car.
That's going to be Don Wagner. Next to him is going to be the 72. That's a George Ritter machine. As you see, that car has really come on in the past couple weeks. We understand that that car has a new motor in it, and he's really been putting on a strong showing here. Then we have the number 1 car. He is new here tonight. We'll get a name on him. The 91 of Al Brewer. We got the 19 of Larry Dupree and the 35 of Ron Evans. So that's the field of cars as they get ready. Out of turn number 4, your head starter waves the caution flag. He wants these cars lined up a little bit better than that before he turns them loose. Once again, it's up to Wagner in the 0 car. Next to him is George Ritter in the 72, a car to keep an eye on now that that's been repowered. No. Once again, out of turn number 4 onto the main straightaway. This time the green flag comes out. Your 2 top cars take off, and it's Wagner down on the inside, but look at Ritter. Ritter slides high, then ducks down on the inside as they come off turn 2 down the back straightaway, side by side into turn number 3. Wagner continues to hold the lead, but here comes Ritter, and we see Ron Evans in the 35 car. He's come from the rear of the pack right up through the field. Remember, this track is a little greasy. This is only the second qualifying event out here to work this track in. These cars usually run a lot faster in their feature event after the track's worked in. Top 2 cars putting on a show as they come down onto the main straightaway. Wagner continues to lead, but Ritter really trying to get by there as he's working every lane on the track in that 72. Meanwhile, Evans worked his way into the 3rd place in that number 35 car. He's coming up through the field very strongly. He's going to make a challenge for 2nd as they come out of turn number 4. Super stock cars back straight away. Your leader continues to be the 0 of Wagner. Ritter runs in the 2nd position. Ron Evans in the 35 runs in 3rd. Then it's going to be a battle as we see the Al Brewer machine, the number 91. He's vying for 4th position as they're side by side with a 19X of Hank Buellman. Buellman trying to hang on to that position, but it looks like the 91 is going to be a little quicker as they move down that back straightaway. Brewer cleanly takes over the 4th position. Top 4 cars. Wagner in the lead, the 72 of Ritter, the 35 of Evans, and then Al Brewer. Evans starting to make a move on Ritter as they come out of turn number 2, side by side on the back straightaway. Evans down on the inside in that 35 car. You see Ritter sliding high as they come out of turn number 4. The 2-up indication goes out to your leader as they come by. Ritter really got his hands full now as we see the 91 of Brewer move right up beside the 35 of Evans. Those 2 cars now going to make a challenge for the 2nd place, currently held by Ritter. Ritter in the 72 hangs on as the white flag comes out, but he's got a pack of trouble behind him. The 91 of Brewer and the 35 of Evans. Evans down on the high side. Brewer up on the top side. Looks like they're going to split the difference as they work down that back straightaway. Brewer up on the outside. Harder into turn number 3 than Ritter can go. Looks like Brewer's going to take the position. Checkered flag comes out. The winner is going to be Don Wagner in the 0 of Brewer. 2nd place car. Then it'll be the 72 of Ritter and the 35 of Evans.
He's on the main straightaway for his victory photograph. A big freedom round of applause for Don Wagner.
Final qualifying event for the late model Super Stocks. On the point, it's going to be the number 3. That's Randy Kessler. He's one of the drivers that's featured in tonight's video here. Of course, you know our friends from Janet's Video, the official video service of Freedom Raceway. We were down pit side and had a nice interview with Randy Kessler, and that is on tonight's videotape. If you would like to order one, just stop by the photo booth and put in your order. Meanwhile, Kessler up on the point, Michelis up next to him, then it's Pringle, and then it's the 32W of Westlake. 5 cars, 8 laps. This is the 3rd and final qualifying event. Looks like Kessler pulls out to an early lead as he pulls away from Michelis in that 77, but here comes Pringle in the B9. Pringle down on the inside of Michelis as they work out of turn number 4 onto the main straightaway. Pringle making easy work of that 77 car. He's run here in the past, but he hasn't run here this season, so he's having his problems in that 77, and Pringle easily walks by him to take up the second position. Now Pringle in the B9 will bring that freshly painted car down and make a run at the 3 of Randy Kessler. Kessler, one of the top 5 drivers here at Freedom Raceway. He starts to pull away, but Pringle starts to run him down in the B9. Meanwhile, Michelis going to take a little heat from the 32W. That's Bill Westlick in that orange 32W. He has pulled up into the 4th position, is looking to take over 3rd. Your leader making easy work out of this qualifying event in that number 3 car. Randy Kessler just walking away from the rest of the field as he takes the cross flags. 4 laps down in this 8-lap qualifying event. Rest of the field starts to string itself out as your leader continues to dominate this field of cars. Pringle in the B9 seems the only one able to even keep close to him, as we can see a lot of distance between 2nd place and your 3rd place runner of Dave Michelis. Michelis in the 77 taking a challenge from Bill Westlick in the 32. Meanwhile, down at turn number 3, we see some trouble with the other 77 cars. We see Randy Kessler trying to work around that car. He didn't give him much room as Kessler had to work way up toward the high side of the field as the 2 flag indication comes out. 2 more times around for Randy Kessler. His lead getting a little bit slimmer as we can see Doug Pringle in that B9 work him down. They get down into turn number 3, out of 4, onto the main straightaway. White flag comes out from your head starter. Randy Kessler in the number 3 car brings it out of turn number 2 onto the back straightaway. Doug Pringle in the B9 is the closest car to him. Once again in turn number 3, pulls up on him, but not enough as the checkered flag's going to drop. And Randy Kessler's going to win this qualifying event. Pringle brings it home in 2nd. Now out of turn number 4 for the 3rd position, Dave Michelis in the 77, Bill Westlake in the 32W. Then it'll be the 77 of Beamer Gazzardi. So Beamer Gazzardi brings it home and last in the 77. Video, he's down in winner's circle. A big round of applause for Randy Kessler. Waving to the crowd, tonight's sponsor, Bob Slippy. Slippy's Collision and Used Cars. He is tonight's sponsor as we get ready to get underway with the late model feature event. Bob Slippy in the Freedom Raceway Slippy's Collision pace car. They work their way down the back straightaway. Up on the point is the 28. That's the Ed Carley machine. Then it's the 22 of Pete Tingu, the 75 of Paul Burrows, the 2 of Kenny Barber, the 0 of Don Wagner, the 72 of George Ritter. On the main straightaway, as we bring up the rest of the field from the 6th position back, it's going to be Ron Evans in the 35. Then it'll be the 19X. It'll be the 3 of Randy Kessler, the B9 of Doug Pringle, the 77 of Dave Michelis, the 32W of Westlake, the 101 of Dave Klink, the 88 of Ricky Tingu, the 91 of Al Brewer, the -1 of Ron Cartwright, and bringing up the rear of the field will be the 77. That's Beamer Gazzardi, and we understand it's his birthday tonight, so we wish a happy birthday to Beamer Gazzardi. Also on the birthday list, a big 4-0 to Chuck Robley tonight. So happy birthday to those 2 people as we get ready to get underway with a feature event for the late model Superstocks here, Slippy Collision Night at Freedom Raceway. They're going to run these cars around the outside of the track here, try to work that berm down in a little bit. These cars with the bigger tires will work the outside of the track in, where the smaller division tires on those cars have worked a berm up on it, and they'll work to get that packed in. Now the light's about to go off on the pace car as we're about to get underway. The indication going out to the field that it's going to be green next time by. Indications have been given it's going to be green next time by. The pace car has left the track. The safety lights are off on the backside. Ed Carley in the 28 car down on the point. Next to him is Pete Tingu. They bring them side by side out of turn number 4. Green flag comes out as the field. The car thunders into turn number 1. Tingu in the 22 car gets the jump, but Carley right on the inside net, number 28. Carley moves up beside Pete Tingu. Tingu hard on the gas as they come into turn number 3. 2 by 2 as they come down to the stripe. And it's going to be Pete Tingu by just a fender as they work that main straightaway. Pete Tingu up on the outside trying to keep that car out front as Ed Carley works hard down on the inside in the 28. Cars tangled down in turn number 2. They stack up the field down there. That's the 75 of Burrows and the 72 of Ritter. Rest of the field hard on the brakes as they back off. This is going to allow the leaders to pick up a lot of ground. Still, the battle rages on for the lead. That's Tingu on the outside, Carley on the inside. Carley taking the fast way around the track, but Pete Tingu really got that 22 car hooked up, and he remains your leader. Side by side out of turn number 4 onto the main straightaway. It's still a lead for the battle. They pulled away from the rest of the field. We see Kenny Barber running in the 3rd position as these 2 cars run side by side. Carley still prefers the inside groove. Tingu on the outside. Each time down the main straightaway, Tingu takes him by just a bit at the stripe. So Tingu really got that 22 hooked up. He hasn't been a real strong runner here previous weeks, but he's got that car put together tonight. Carley gets into the lap car. That's the 77 of Beamer Gazzardi. Gazzardi having his problems out there in that 77. Really held up the 28 of Carley as Carley is way off the pace now. He's a couple car lengths behind Pete Tingu as they thunder out of turn 4. Lucky break for Tingu as we see the 28 of Carley run side by side till they got down into lap traffic. Now we can see Gazzardi holding up the rest of the field as he slowly works that 77 car around the main straightaway. Lap cars now being given the indication to move over as your leaders are coming by. That's the 18 of Wolf. Now Wolf moves up on Gazzardi. They're going to have the track blocked as they go single file as the leaders try to get by. Gazzardi puts it 3 wide as we got Wolf up on the outside trying to go around him. Your leaders duck down on the inside, and it's still Pete Tingu as they come to the line. Tingu continues to be your first place car. Second belongs to the 28 of Carley, and then Pringles moved that B9 car up into the 3rd position as he's now on the back straightaway. We move back to the 3 car. That's Randy Kessler who rides in the 4th position. But as we go back up to the lead, the 28 of Pete Tingu having his problems out there with the 22 as they just barely touch with Ed Carley down in turn number 1. They get those cars straightened around, and it continues to be a Pete Tingu show, but Carley works his way up on the inside. Then we can see the B9 of Pringle start to run them down. So as the leaders start to work through lap traffic here, you can see the 3rd place car is starting to eat away some of that track position that they gained in the early stages of this race. Now the B9 of Pringle had a lot of problems moving up through the field. He had a lot of cars to go by. He might be one of the fastest cars on the track tonight, and he might have the time to run them down as the field takes a halfway signal from your starter. So we're halfway down in this 25 lap feature event, and Pete Tingu continues to dominate, but he's got a lot of lap traffic as your head starter waves the move over flag very hard. Now Pringles moved that B9 right up on the back door of the 28 of Carley for that 3rd position. So this lap traffic has really cost your leader some track position and allowed these other cars that had to work their way up through the field to get into contention here. So Doug Pringle in that B9, clearly one of the fastest cars here on the track, is really putting on a show here as he moves up to take that 2nd position away from the 28 of Carley. Still a lot of lap traffic down there as Pete Tingu works on the inside. We see the 101 of Klink. He goes around up there. There's a lot of bumping and banging up in turn number 4. We see Dave Klink sit up in the top of turn number 4 there, and that's going to bring out the first caution period over this feature event for the late model Super Stocks. 14 laps down on this feature event, so we got 11 to go to make 25. They're going to take them back and line them up. They were on lap number 14, the last completed. This is going to be a lucky break for some of these faster running cars in the back of the pack that have worked their way up through. Pringle got his advantage as he worked some lap traffic there to get his car into contention, but now Randy Kessler gets to make up a lot of ground in his number 3 car, along with the 88 of Ricky Tingu and the 91 of Al Brewer. So those cars get to work their way back up to the front of the pack as we got a lot of lap traffic in between your leaders and 4th through 10th in this field. So we're going to take them back to lap 14, the last completed.
88.
Completed lap of this 25-lap feature. We are past the midway point of the race, so it will be a single file restart. Indications have gone out to the field that it's going to be green next time by. We got a lot of lap traffic worked into these cars here as they were lapping the field in the first 14 green flag laps. We could see the 75 of Burrows. He's a lap car in there. So it starts out with Pete Tingu, then the 28 of Carly, the B9 of Pringle, then it's going to be the 3 of Kessler as Westlake's a lap car, the 2 of Barber's a lap car, then we take it back to the 88 of Rick Tingu, the 91 of Brewer, and the 19 Axe of Brookmile. Green flag comes over the field. Pete Tingu takes him down to the line one more time. Carly and Pringle easily go by those lap traffic, as does the 3 of Kessler. So those 3 cars quickly move up to the front, and here comes the 88 of Rick Tingu. So Tingu looking for a groove to get through back there as he fights with the 32W of Westlake, who is a lap car. Also, keep your eye on the 91 of Al Brewer. He was last week's feature winner here. That's the 91 car as he quickly moves through lap traffic. We see the 72 of George Ritter go around up at the top of turn number 2. He ties up the rest of the field, including the 35 of Ron Evans, and that'll bring caution over this field of cars one more time. One more lap has been completed, so we're 15 down on this 25-lap feature as we see George Ritter go around down there and collect up the 35 of Ron Evans. So once again, we're going to bring this field under caution and take them back to lap 15.
75 ahead of the...
Already adopted in Europe.
Field as he could cause the caution, and unfortunately Ron Evans' car goes off on the big hook. Meanwhile, down on the main straightaway, your head starter, Ray Olivetti's giving the field the one more indication, indicating it'll be green next time by. Safety lights are off on the back straightaway. So once again, this will be a single file restart as we are past the midway point. It's going to be up to Pete Tingu to lead him down through. Second place had Carly in the 28. Then it's the B9 of Pringle, the 3 of Randy Kessler, the 88 of Rick Tingu, the 91 of Al Brewer, and the 19X of Bruckelman. Those are the cars as they get ready to get back underway with the conclusion of this 25-lap feature event. Out of turn number 4, green flag flies over the field once again. Pete Tingu gets off to a good start. Pete Tingu continues to lead, but he's got a lot of fast company behind him. Ed Carly in the 28, and now Pringle, who might have one of the fastest cars on the tracks, riding in the 3rd position. Randy Kessler's worked that 3 up to 4th, and here comes Rick Tingu in the 88. Got a big problem on the 32W. That's a Westlake machine. Smoke pours out of the back of that car as he's way off the pace. He slides up on the high side of the track there, and something amiss with the B9 of Pringle on the back straightaway. So both those cars, something the matter with them as they slowly work their way around the track. Doug Pringle in the B9 had a strong run going out there. He's up on the top of turn number 4, and Westlake slowly moving on the back straightaway. These 2 cars are going to bring the caution out once again. So once again, caution falls over the field. It'll be for the 32 of Westlake, who let something go on the main straightaway. Blew a lot of smoke out of the back of that 32W. He's come to a stop. But Doug Pringle in the B9, he's moved that car down into the pit area. So it looks like he's got that car off the racing surface, but the yellow flag will be out for the 32W of Westlake.
Okay, I got 17 laps in.
It'll be Tingu in the 88, the 91 of Brewer, and the 2 of Kenny Barber. Those are your lead cars as they start to bunch up coming out of the field. We see Brewer way up on the outside of the field as the green flag comes out. This time, Ed Carley gets a jump in that 28 car, but again, he's got the 22 of Pete Tingu right behind him and the 3 of Randy Kessler. Battle for the second position as Kessler now moves that car down on the inside of the 22 of Tingu. Side by side down the main straightaway. Pete Tingu just barely hanging on to that second position. Randy Kessler, a man on the move as he moves down to the inside. He's still side by side as they work that second position down into turn number 3. Tingu up on the outside, but this time by Kessler takes over the second position. Just barely as he tries to pull away from the 22 of Tingu. Ed Carley continues to lead this event, but here comes Kessler. Kessler now moves into the second position, but Tingu very fast on the outside of the track. Now Kessler down on the inside. He's taking a look at the inside position as the 5-lap indication goes out to the field. 5 more times around for these late model super stocks. Carley's got his hands full trying to hold off the 3 of Kessler and the 22 of Tingu. Side by side, Rick Tingu moves that 88 car up in. Right behind him, the 91 of Ale Brewer. 5 cars in the front pack as they move out of turn number 2 on the back straightaway. It's still a battle for second place as Kessler works the inside. Pete Tingu up on the high side. Carley still your leader, but we got some lap traffic here. That's the B9 of Pringle. Your leaders are going to come into him real soon here as we see Carley trying to hold on that first position, and they're still side by side for second. Randy Kessler holds that 3 car way down on the bottom of the track. The 2 flag up indication goes out. It's 2 more times around as these 5 cars tightly packed in this front pack. Carley still trying to hold off. Here comes Kessler. Something wrong with Tingu. Pete Tingu drops off the pace. He gets it refired, but he's lost 3 positions. That's going to put Ricky Tingu up into the second position. White flag lap as they work out of turn number 2 onto the back straightaway. Carley got a lot of breathing room down there as Rick Tingu backed off the pace a little bit and stopped the field. Ed Carley thunders out of turn number 4. The checkered flag's going to fly. The winner's going to be Ed Carley. Rick Tingu second, the 91 of Brewer. Then it's Kessler and Pete Tingu. Rest of the field comes under the checkered flag. If you like what you've seen tonight in this feature event, don't forget to be here Sunday. We're going to throw the green flag at 6 p.m. for the Western New York Late Model Super Stock Shootout. All these cars and more will be back on Sunday night.
Yeah. That was excellent. Great.
He's down front. He can hear you now. He had to work hard to win it, but he is the winner. A big round of applause for Ed Carley. If you got a 50-50 ticket, now's the time to get it out. We're going to announce the number very shortly here, but first we're going to go trackside. Trophy presentations being put on tonight by our friends at Slippy's Collision down in Springville. Bob Slippy out to make the presentation himself.
These numbers are posted down at the base head office and at the gate office.